Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to draw this blueberry in the app IBS Paintex. This is the watercolor tutorial, so I'm going to show you how to make it more realistic, real watercolor like illustration in the app IBS Paintex with just using three brushes. So let's get started. So I'm using 3:4 ratio canvas, and here you can see I'm using drawing paper rough 3 background to create that realistic watercolor paper like effect. So first I'm going to use the brush pencil #1 to draw the sketch. So this is just for the sketch. We are not going to use this brush for our main illustration. So what I'm doing here is just creating blueberries. Since the blueberries are going to be in different angle, different shape, not exactly same or similar, I'm going to position them, and just like a mapping, I'm going to draw how the blueberry is going to be placed. So this is a rough sketch. So then reduce the opacity of the layer and create the new layer to draw the original sketch. So here you can see I'm just tracing the berries shape. Here I'm not going to consider the overlaps between the two circles because that's going to be hidden while painting. So just concentrate on the original shape, and the circle like shape which are behind are going to be cropped like then I'm going to draw the branch. So for the branch I'm also adding few small leaves and few big leaves to make the illustration more attractive. So here also there is some overlaps, so these overlaps can be removed using either by eraser or using a lasso eraser tool. I feel more comfortable with the lasso eraser, so I am using lasso eraser tool to erase. So where you can see the lasso eraser is under the special tool option. So here I'm just adding leaf. So this is our final sketch. Our sketch is ready. This is also not going to be visible on our final artwork. This is for only our reference. So I'm just reducing its opacity, just that I just can't see the sketch. So I'm just reducing that much, and in the new layer I'm going to draw the illustration. For that I'm using lasso tool to select. Here you can see I'm not choosing any neighboring berries because if we select the neighboring berries, it gonna merge. We can't paint them well, so that's why I'm just selecting berries which are far away and which are not merged with other, so that we can add the texture really well. And then once we done with this, we can choose the other berries to do the same. So here you can see I'm using watercolor edge brush, and I'm using different blue colors for this. First of all a mild blue, and then a dark navy blue color, and then I'm using transparent watercolor water brush to blend them really well and make it more watery like textured. So then I'm choosing the dark color, dark navy blue again, and then using watercolor bleed brush to add some more colors to this. So here we just using different shades of blue, that's why the watercolor bleed brush only gives extra blue color. If you use multiple color like red and green, you will get some orange shade when you use the watercolor bleed brush. So here you can see I'm adding that tip point for the berries. So since that area is first going to be whitish and at the center it's going to be darker, I just used watercolor edge brush to apply some white color and then giving the dark shades then. So if you want to add more texture to it, like a transparent texture, you can use the watercolor, a laser eraser to remove something like this. You don't have to remove entirely, just like a textured detail we can remove here and there. This gives a beautiful texture. So again we are in the same layer. Now I'm going to choose some other lasso, some other berries using the lasso tool. So once I remove the selection, then I'm going to select the other berries. So if you keep the berry selection on and continues choosing the other berries using the lasso layer, they're going to blend. Whenever you use the lasso tool, again make sure you remove selection before taking the next step. So it's going to be the same process again and again. Whether we have drawn the lemon illustration, now berries, all using the same techniques and the same brushes. So here you can see, now I'm using transparent watercolor brush to add some transparency and make them watery. You also can use that watercolor water brush. So now I'm done with the berries. Now I'm going to move on to the leaves part. So here I'm choosing leaves which are far away. Instead of using multiple leaves at the same part, I'm using leaves from different part, so that we can avoid the blending or merging of two different leaves. So here you can see, using subtract tool, I removed some of the center part of leaf selection, so that to get that transparent line like look. It gives a really amazing look when we use that subtract tool to remove some of the areas of the selection. So now you can see with the same process, with the same brush, but with the different colors like dark green, light green, we have done the leaves. Now I'm going to move on to the stem part. For the stem part, instead of selecting at a time, I'm just making into section and selecting step by step to avoid any collision or unknowingly. Sometimes we may add the unwanted areas. To avoid that, I'm selecting them step by step. And now I'm using watercolor edge brush to add this texture. So instead of dragging the brush, just tap here and there little bits, then you will get these beautiful details. So now I'm using watercolor bleed brush to add this mild sandal-like color, to add some texture and shades. So then I'm using transparent watercolor water brush to wash them off a little bit to make it more like a watercolor illustration. So I'm using some dark shades of brown to add some darkness here and there. Never apply same color all over your selection. It will not look that much good or realistic. So instead, just add shades here and there. So this is our final blueberry illustration. I hope you like this. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.